All right, what is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, we finally have some news from the PDGA. Nikko Locastro suspended for 9 months. And Nikko Locastro, basically for his actions at the European Open, he had a bit of a meltdown. It wasn't a good look. He was dropped by his sponsor, Clash Discs, and suspended from his sponsorship from Gateway Discs, which he's actually part of the family who owns Gateway Discs, so his uncle owns Gateway, and they still suspended him. With all that being said, I'm assuming they'll probably pick him back up once his suspension is lifted. So in 9 months, Nikko Locastro will be able to play in the PDGA again, and I'm hoping in the meantime he's able to sort of get his act together, get his emotions under control. And if he has his emotions and his mind state under control, maybe he won't take quite so long on his shots. There's two sides of this story. There's the side of the story, sort of Nikko's side, where he is definitely getting singled out as the guy that takes way too long. But also, you put that reputation on yourself by consistently doing the same thing over and over again. It doesn't really matter what you're doing, but if you do it a lot, people are going to expect it of you. So obviously, if Nikko continues to take a long time on every single shot, then he's going to eventually get called on it, and people are going to pay more attention to him than maybe they do other players. The other side of the argument is what Nikko did. He should have just taken the stroke. He shouldn't have blown up. He shouldn't have melted down. And he deserves the suspension. And a lot of people think that he deserved the full 24-month suspension. I think this was it was, as far as Class A offenses, it says Class A offenses are the most serious category and basically involve the most serious of offenses on the disc golf course. They typically carry a 24-month suspension followed by 12 months of probation. So they had a special case scenario here for Nikko. They gave him a 9-month suspension and 15 months of probation. So he's definitely on the more lenient side of a Class A offense in the eyes of the PDGA. That's what this lets me know. And if we saw Nikko get a 2-year suspension, we may have seen the end of Nikko Locastro. He may tell you different. His former sponsors may tell you different. I'm not entirely sure. But he's definitely on the older side of the players on the Pro Tour. And 2 years from now, the sport is going to be so hard to win. Do I think Nikko would have come back? Maybe, but I don't think he would have been, a contender at the highest level anymore. But after a 9-month suspension, he can just spend, the next 9 months practicing, getting better. He'll be able to come back and play majors next year. He'll be able to come back and compete for the USDGC. Basically, he'll be able to play all the events, next year, like the big ones, the end of the season. So he'll be fully rested. He'll be in practice. He may or may not have a new sponsor. He may just come out and represent himself, depending on what his finances are like. It'll be really interesting to see what happens when he comes back. I think the PDGA made the right decision. I don't think they should end his career over it. It seems like basically they're giving him another chance, and then they gave him an extended probationary period, so he doesn't really have any wiggle room to melt down anymore. I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section down below. Do you think they were too lenient for Nikko Locastro, or do you think they gave him the right penalty? Comment down below. You're watching Iceberg TV, and take care.